Welcome to Lives Illuminated, Dreams Illuminated, an immersive multimedia art exhibition and artistic experience, also known as LEDI. LEDI is presented by the Dr. David M. Milch Foundation. It is a collaboration between American artist Lauren Bergman and Israeli composer Ella Milch Sharif. These two creators were introduced by Dr. Milch, who envisioned the LEDI experience after first seeing the unique and haunting paintings of Lauren Bergman, which reimagine the lives of girls who were killed in the Holocaust. Each painting is now accompanied by a musical composition, framing the history involved and extending from the artist's personal stories and inspirations. After each portrait and music composition, you will hear brief artist comments from Lauren and Ella. Their talents bring us LEDI and honor the LEDI experience. We are proud to share Lives Illuminated, Dreams Illuminated with you now. Please proceed to the portrait of Tema Schneiderman. We begin our journey with Tema Schneiderman. Tema was a fierce young Jewish woman and a resistance fighter for the Jewish underground during the Holocaust. Born in 1917 in Warsaw, Poland, she was murdered after being captured by the Nazis while trading arms and courier messages in 1942. Depicted with a wolf and combat boots, artist Lauren Bergman portrays Tema's resilience and heroic nature. The music, by composer Ella Milch Sharif, perfectly conveys a woodland theme.
Tema Schneiderman was a courier in the Jewish underground. She ran more than 20 missions connecting information and finances between different isolated ghettos before she was caught and sent to Treblinka, where she was executed. In the historical image, Tema's pictured with two of her friends and a dog. She really struck me as a warrior. I wanted to portray her as this strong, fearless woman that she really was. And so from the original dog in the photograph, I gave her a wolf. I also put her in motorcycle boots. Just kind of a fun little element to just highlight her badassness.
She seemed to be a young woman who took her destiny in her hands and did something with it. So I took the partisan song, and at first I brought it in a hidden way. And then I brought it in a clearer way. The first note is a timpani, which gives a sign of rhythm. You have the rhythm from the very first moment, and you have the trumpet, which is the trumpet of the troops or the partisans of war. The music has a way, in a very short cord even, to bring the uneasiness of the situation. This bravery and these partisans, their bravery was much more than we can take. And that's why I wanted it to end with a huge crescendo.
I feel grateful that I had the opportunity to give this soul a platform to address the world.
Please proceed to the portrait of Henriette Bamberg Cambridge. Henriette Bamberg Cambridge was born in Antwerp, Belgium in 1935. She was just 8 years old in 1943 when the Nazis sent Henriette to the gas chamber simply for being Jewish. The Nazis' devotion to racial purity drove their persecution of many people, but focused mainly on Jews. Notice how artist Lauren Bergman provides Henriette with a wide open space to roam freely, surrounded by a fence that she is able to climb over. The butterflies create a whimsical and dreamy effect. Here, composer Ella Milch Sharif calls your attention to her use of the bass clarinet. Ella's simple orchestration was inspired by the song Sometimes I Feel Like a Motherless Child, which is a classic African-American spiritual melody.
Henriette lived in Antwerp, Belgium, and her mother was Jewish. Henrietta was murdered not because she was black, but because she was Jewish. I wanted to give this little girl, Henriette, who died in a gas chamber, suffocating, I wanted to give her air. We're hearing so much now about air and being able to breathe. So in this painting, I really wanted to give her fresh air. The concentration camps were surrounded by fences, threatening fences, barbed wire fences. I wanted to give her a fence that she could climb over and go where she wanted.
Henrietta was obviously a very special case. I could not avoid this famous song, Sometimes I Feel Like a Motherless Child. One of the most known songs of the Afro-American spirituals, let's say. I wanted something simple as simple can be. And I started this song with the bass clarinet again. But then comes in the clarinet some Jewish theme, like a Jewish prayer in a synagogue. Tira ta 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 ta. like begging, like asking, save us, ta 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 ta, something very Jewish. I felt her mother losing her child.
I wanted her to feel that her life was loved, that in history we will see her and love her and accept her.
Because we cannot tell the story of 6 million, but if we tell one story which tells a truth of many others, we can connect to it.
Please proceed to the portrait of Eva Nemova. Eva Nemova was born in Prague, Czechoslovakia in 1937. At just 4 years old, the Nazis deported Eva and her family to the Terezin Ghetto, a concentration camp located in what is now the Czech Republic. Artist Lauren Bergman painted young Eva seated on a peaceful moon against the backdrop of an open blue sky. Composer Ella Milt Sharif captures the whimsical nature of the painting through her composition.
When I saw the picture of Eva Nemova, it just stopped me because she just looked so self-confident and serious. She went to a studio and had her photo taken. Implies that she was from a loving family that wanted to document her childhood. And then all we know is that she was sent to Auschwitz and exterminated. And so I wanted her to be sitting in this moon, the paper moon, representing just a joyous time. And yet she was probably wearing a yellow star. I wanted it to be a celebration of yellow stars flying around her.
I decided to swing her surrealistically on this moon with a contemporary Czechian children's song. First of all, the first instrument should be an accordion, which is related usually to something which is folkloristic and even children's songs. Then we have the glockenspiel. This instrument is this magic sound that is very suitable for sounds for children. I added to it glass bells. Glass bells make sounds of glass like, but there is a counterpoint from the lowest instrument in the orchestra, the tuba. Every instrument here has a meaning and a double meaning.
When we see just these tragic images, we forget that that life is beautiful also, that they don't necessarily want to be remembered in tragedy. And all I can do is try to create, whether it's a memory they had or a story that will make someone stop and remember this person.
Please proceed to the portrait of She Dreams of Flowers. She Dreams of Flowers depicts an unidentified young Polish woman from Lvov, now part of the Ukraine. Her clothes are torn off as she sits on the sidewalk, surrounded. Like many Jews during the Nazi invasion, her fellow citizens turned on her, which leads to this unfortunate woman being chased, beaten and apprehended in the street, and presumably killed. Notice how artist Lauren Bergman dressed the young girl and replaced her captors with a generous open field and a feline companion. The composition by Ella Milch Sharif conjures the chaotic thoughts of a woman running for her life.
The painting She Dreams of Flowers was the very first painting that I did in this series. It shows how Ukrainian citizens turned on their Jewish neighbors, chasing them through the streets, tearing their clothes off, and beating them. And this woman is sitting on the sidewalk without her clothes, clearly terrified. When I first painted the painting, I painted her as I wanted to do like almost a goddess image to elevate her, and I kept her nude. I kept feeling that she wanted her clothes. I couldn't exhibit that painting. I couldn't show people because her dignity, she had been torn away. So I painted her under the layers of clothing. She is a full and complete person.
I started to write the music, and the music that came out, starting, for instance, with the bass clarinet, which has a very peculiar sound, sometimes a bit threatening. In the continuation of this, you hear some kind of an American song, which could be the beautiful landscape that Lorraine knows from her native country, America. The Ukrainians, the people, the cruelty around her, the threat that is coming nearer and nearer. It's not beautiful. The music is not beautiful. It's not nice. But the photo is not nice either.
I wanted her to have an element of protection and continuity, and there's the yarn and the cat who's watching over her, and the thread of time that she won't be forgotten.
But at the very end, I put a sound of a gong. It doesn't end. There is not a cut that you say this song comes to a completion. It ends, it's closed, point. No, it stays like this. And the gong opens it even more.
Please proceed to the portrait, Family Picnic Memories. Family Picnic Memories is very special for LEDI's founder, Dr. David M. Milch. The portrait is different from all the other paintings in the collection. One of the family members is a survivor of the Holocaust, the only survivor in the entire LEDI collection. This is the young girl seated at the center in the white dress. It's David's mother, Lucia Rosenzweig Milch. Lucia survived after losing 100 members of her extended family, including those seen here. She's alive today at 93 years old. The music, created by composer Ella Milch Sharif, matches the painting by artist Lauren Bergman. While haunting and ominous, it also frames potential for a hopeful future. After listening to the music while viewing the painting, you will hear a few words from Lucia.
Everything which I had during my childhood is divided into two periods. Anti-Semitism, as I knew it on my own skin, is very, very much part of that. Without anti-Semitism, some horrible things were happening through history, but in that kind of an organized, brutal, unbelievably vicious manner, as I personally saw, heard, and witnessed, never happened before. Anti-Semitism is the result of that. It's impossible to sit in this very comfortable, beautiful, well-appointed, warm, clean apartment and to think that overnight, like that, things can turn to such viciousness. It scares me to think about it, because then I pose the question to myself, what is it that we can do? Never to stop talking about it. We must do everything, or at least something like this. Otherwise, we are in danger as a society, as a people.
Thank you for participating in the LEDI experience. We trust it was special and meaningful for you. You can now proceed to all the remaining portraits simply by entering the number on your audio device. Thank you again. The LEDI team wishes you well.